Hello everyone, this is Matt from Real World Review, and today I'm going to show you a little bit of a different video than I normally do. This is actually a warranty repair that is being sent back to me from Apple. Now this was denied by Apple. This is an iPhone 7, an A1660, which has the baseband issue, or the no service issue, that Apple actually does recall on. And just so you know, this audio recording is done after the fact, so I know exactly what's going on. And the reason that I'm even doing this video is because Apple denied this repair because they said that there was liquid damage. And everything I'm going to show you in this video is going to be all the proof that I really have right now. Obviously, I didn't know that this was going to happen, so I didn't record before sending in the phone because I did open up the phone. And I have no documentation showing that Apple did say that this phone was wet because that information expired. But either way, I'm going to be as truthful as possible in this video, and if you don't want to believe me, that's fine, but everything I'm telling you is the truth and exactly how it happened. So let's open this up because this is where the iPhone is. And as always, they send you this little paperwork that tells you pretty much what they did on the phone. In this case, they're just saying that pretty much this device is out of warranty because there was unauthorized modifications, and they don't say anything about liquid damage. This is just a generic message. And normally they'll tell you what the issue is, but for some reason they didn't say that it was liquid damage on here. But either way, here's the phone. It looks new-ish, kind of, right? But once we take this off, you can tell that it definitely is used. And I'm going to leave this top piece on just to kind of prove further that I'm not, none of this is modified or anything like that to make it look like something has happened. But either way, let's remove these bottom two screws and check out what the inside of the phone looks like. And I'm going to carefully remove this screen, which is actually technically easier to remove. So we're going to fold this over like this, and immediately I can find some issues. Like for example, there is no adhesive on this right side. This phone is supposed to be a water resistant phone, and pretty much what Apple is supposed to do is put a new seal around the screen when they do send it off, so that's kind of disappointing. And then also this SIM card tray area. This SIM card tray is supposed to be covered by this black cover. I don't know what happened there, but I'm definitely not dumb enough to send this phone in looking like that. But let's get this screen removed. Let's obviously unplug this battery after taking out those screws, remove this screen, and then we'll remove the top piece as well. So now that we have that removed, I can show you even further. There's no adhesive on this right side, and there's no adhesive on the right side on the phone either. Like, nothing at all. Which is kind of weird because you kind of rely on that adhesive to stay on there, but whatever. Also, there's this liquid damage sticker right here, and it looks perfectly clean. I don't see an issue with it at all. There's also this other one right here, and again, same thing. Doesn't look wet at all, looks perfect. So those are the two indicators for liquid damage, and neither of them show liquid damage. So let's move on. Let's take this logic board out and see what we can find. And so far, everything looks good. It looks like all the screws are put in back in place properly. Nothing out of the ordinary other than that SIM card tray look, which is really strange. I don't think they've done this since the iPhone 6 or iPhone 6S. Okay, so we got everything unplugged. We're going to remove this SIM card tray like this because I'm lazy, and then we're going to lift up the logic board and take out that board. And now that we have it removed, we're going to see the other issue that makes no sense at all. Now remember, this phone was sent in for a logic board issue, and pretty much the way that Apple fixes it is by replacing the logic board. They don't actually fix the issue. So with the SIM card tray, why would I make it look like this? And for this part, I'm not stupid enough. And also, why would I make it look like this? This literally looks like, instead of lifting up this piece, someone just cut into it, which might actually cause some issues if it grounds on one of those chips. I've seen a lot of repairs by people that claim that they know what they're doing, but I've never seen someone bring in a phone that looks like this. And just to show you, I'm going to attempt to remove the bottom piece. I don't really have the proper tools for this or the proper patience for this right now. But pretty much what I'm going to do is show you how easy it is to remove this thing without causing any major damage. And there we go. It's pretty much removed. You know, I have a little tear in there, but again, if I really wanted to try hard, I can remove this without really damaging anything. And then all I gotta do is just simply set this back down. And even look at that. That looks a lot nicer. I mean, I can even use this pick to kind of flatten it out. And again, I'm not trying to do the best job, but I mean, come on, this is not what anyone would have made it look like. Plus, there's no reason to remove that. And this piece right here, why are they even trying to remove that? Do they think that trying to fix this would fix the no service thing? I just don't understand why Apple would do this. And if you look at the rest of the phone, there's no liquid damage. That's another thing to point out too. There's no liquid damage on this logic board anywhere. No corrosion or anything like that. The only thing I can see is maybe like this little area right here that looks like someone was touching the speaker. Other than that, I don't see any signs of liquid damage. And that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video. Because for me, this is something that I sent into Apple because of my job. So what we can do is we can just write this off and, you know, maybe we missed out on a couple dollars. And technically we missed out on being able to sell a phone, but it's not really that big of a deal. The major issue that I see is that you have people buying these phones, using these phones every day, not having any issues with it, and then all of a sudden they have a no service issue. Then they send it in to Apple, and Apple says, oh, you've worked on this phone, or you got this phone wet, even though that customer never did either of those. Now that customer is forced to either pay the outrageous and kind of insulting amount of $329 or $349, something like that, in order to get a new one of these phones, when they can just get an iPhone SE for $400. But this is something that Apple kind of relies on. And obviously it's not going to be every situation where they tell you, oh, you worked on your phone, buy a new one. But it's still kind of concerning knowing that there are going to be some customers that think, well, this is all that I can do. I can't fix it myself. You know, I have to get it fixed by Apple. And it's kind of frustrating that Apple even allows this to happen. Because I know that no one at Apple is going to watch this video, and even if they do, they're not going to care about this video. This isn't going to change anything. And judging by situations like this and other past experiences, it doesn't look like Apple is hiring competent people to actually work in their service areas. I mean, I've been working on phones for pretty much half of my life, like at least 12 to 13 years, and this is not something that someone should be doing. I mean, you want a repair to look aesthetically pleasing, even if no one is ever going to see it, because you don't want to be embarrassed for if someone does open up the device and sees this. And that's exactly what's going on. But in this case, I'm showing everyone this. But going back to the point of this video is I could afford to lose a couple dollars. That's fine. If I don't make extra money off this phone, that's fine. But the people that have an iPhone 7 and can't afford to get a new phone have this issue happen, which is not their fault. And then they send it in to Apple, and then Apple says you've worked on this phone? That's insulting. That's rude. And there's probably some law that's being broken technically. But will Apple do anything about it? Probably not. Will they help try and fix anything? They're not going to. They're against the right to repair, and they're never going to try and help people. And I'm not saying that Apple is the only one that does this. There's probably other companies like Samsung or maybe even Motorola or anything like that. But Apple is the only business that I consistently have issues with warranty repairs. So I'm not trying to fully bash on Apple, but it is insulting, and it definitely makes you lose trust in Apple when you see stuff like this. When you see that, oh, I have a warranty, or oh, I have a recall issue, I have peace of mind. I know that when I take it in, they're just going to fix it, and I'm not going to have to worry about anything. Now, if this phone had different parts on it, like a different battery, or if we tried to do the actual repair itself, then it would make sense that Apple would reject this repair. But why would anyone do this repair when you can just get this fixed by Apple for free? There's literally no reason to do that. For me, it's kind of insulting for Apple to even let this phone leave their factory like this. I mean, I hope that Apple improves when it comes to their warranty work. Another situation that I'll give you that I had with Apple is similar to this, but not exactly the same. So I had an iPhone 10, and pretty much the logic board had failed. Okay, so I took it into Apple, they fixed it, they replaced a bunch of stuff. I'm pretty sure they replaced the logic board, they replaced the battery, and they replaced the screen. A couple weeks later, didn't really use the phone, kept all the original stuff that they put on there, and the phone just stopped working again. So I took it back into Apple right before I walked into the store. It still had the cover over the screen like this phone had. I took it into Apple, took that piece off, put it in my pocket, whatever, threw it away, whatever. I took it to Apple, took off that cover, and gave it to the representative. They looked at it up and down, they made sure everything looked nice, and then we sent it off to Apple. A couple days later, I get a notification saying that I need to check on the phone. I look at the phone, they say that the screen is damaged, and they want to replace the screen for the full price. So I call up AppleCare and I tell them, hey, what are you talking about? The screen is not cracked. Obviously, if it was cracked, the representative in the store would have seen it and they would have said something. I've literally seen a hairline crack on the screen and they make it a big deal. So why are they doing that now? Then, of course, the person at AppleCare said, oh, everything looks fine. It doesn't look cracked. So what we're going to do is we're going to waive the fee. Waive the fee on a screen that they essentially gave me and said that it's not working. So that's kind of ironic. But it's proof of another situation where Apple just is trying to get over on people. And I don't know why. I don't understand why that would be a thing. And this is not going to prevent me from buying Apple products. It's not going to prevent me from recommending Apple in general. But it's definitely something that you have to think about if you are going to buy any Apple products. This doesn't reflect every single situation that's going to happen with Apple, but it is still something to note. And I wanted to let you guys know that everyone isn't perfect. And even some of your favorite companies may not be in your best interest. But that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or learned something. And also, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section or message me on Twitter. And feel free to follow me on the social media listed above. Subscribe to my channel so you can see more review and repair videos. And hit the bell button so then YouTube reminds you when those videos do come out. Thanks for watching.